got your volunteer on, your work on, or whatever it is that you did for the King holiday. If you celebrate it, everybody don't celebrate it. I forgot about that. But I did. I celebrate the holiday. So I did a lot of work. I didn't do too much volunteering, um, but I did do some work. But check this out. I hope you ladies uh, are participating and looking at all the stuff that we're doing for Human Traffic Awareness Month for this month. Because, man, when I tell you I am learning some things, I am learning some things about how this whole game work and how it's a $1 billion industry. Hey, Tony, it is a $1 billion industry, and how much people are so involved in this. Again, when I heard that they involve families, that is not just what we think it is, I just feel like, man, when I tell y'all we need to go ahead and step up, we need to go ahead and step up for real. Only because they are making a $1 billion business out of sex trafficking. You know why? Because they're preying on vulnerable women and young girls and some men, because they know how to groom them, because these young ladies and some of the men do not love themselves. And because they know that these individuals, these women, do not love themselves, they use that to abuse them and put them out there for sex trafficking, to the point where they are brainwashed that that is what they're supposed to do, be, or have, until someone comes along and exposes to them that there is something different in life, and that there's something called self love that they can hang on to change their life. Can you ladies believe that? The only reason why sex trafficking is so big, and you guys can watch the videos. We have another survivor coming on Thursday, and we have a private investigator coming on tonight. The only reason why sex trafficking is so big, because there is a lot of young girls and women out there who don't know who they are and who don't love themselves. And these predators know that, and they prey on them and get them to do these crazy acts, not only for a little time, but for years, and sometimes a lifetime, even if it means their life. And that's why I made the topic today. I'm sitting here and I'm talking about we got to live a life of urgency. All the time I talk to you ladies about all of you who show up every day because you believe that there's more in you. You know that there is more in you, and you know you should be doing more, but you letting something like fear stop you. Remember, every time I tell you, the moment that every time that you don't do something, you are stopping that next woman who is out there from receiving her blessing, because you are too afraid to step up and say, I got to live my goals and dreams because I know you coming behind me. We live in our own bubble all the time, and we think that our life and what's happening to us is so devastating until we see other people, right? Until we hear their stories. When I heard that lady say that she was in sex trafficking for 6 years at the age of 19 because she was vulnerable, right? And Kim, I think you was there, because she was vulnerable and the guy slapped her across the face. And she said she wanted love. She wanted someone to be with her and her daughter. I'm saying to myself, like, well, 19, you probably really not that sure who you were. We all go through life traumas, right? But there was no one who can step in, no community person, no nothing, that will say, hey, you are worth more than what you think. The person who did that was a predator. The person who gave them that love was somebody who used and abused it. Ain't that crazy? How the power of knowing who you are is so strong. When you don't know, you can be lured to doing anything, even giving your life. And we on here, when we come, we say, this is going to be the day. This year is going to be my year, right? This is the time that I am going to make things happen. And then we get stuck and we say, well, I'm afraid and I can't do it. Life is a sense of urgency. I want you guys to look around you. And I'm not preaching to you. I just want you to be aware, okay? Look at what's going on around you. These kids are being left behind in school. Y'all, they are so behind. They cutting right in front of your face. They falling asleep. They on the pad. They not getting the social interaction they need, right? And then what happens, right? Their mental abilities is off. They're not learning what they need to learn. How are these kids going to compete in society? How are these kids going to get through and have a proper education so that they can get to where you are? But Tony, Lee, Vanessa, Deborah, Kim, Gina, you guys all got skills. You guys all got skills where you think that you might not have an impact, but whatever it is that you do, and however you fall in this whole line of life, I bet you got something that that kid needs in order to turn their life around. I bet you have something that can help that woman know and understand that if she just take a first step in her life and her career or anything, that she can see something other than human trafficking. You know, you want to know why I know that that is true? Is because you show up every day. You listen because there's something inside of you that knows that you should be doing it, but you are in your own bubble and you're in your own mind and you're stopping yourself. So you're not living your life with a sense of urgency. You're trying to sit back and wait to see what happens to other people or listening to other people where these people are waiting on you, right? And I can say, I know how you feel because I was there when before I launched the I'm Loving Me project. I said to myself, I said, you know what? I said, now if I do this, I got to be 100% committed. Why? Because it takes a lot to get a person to see just how valuable they are. And I said, I don't know if this is for me. You know, my life doesn't reflect a person who can talk to other women. And I was so, you know, I wasn't insecure, but I felt like I wasn't qualified to come and talk to you guys because I'm like, look at my life. I look at the other people who come and talk and I'm like, okay, they successful speakers. They do all, you know, all these things. They're out there, all that stuff. And here it is, little old me, who God gave this vision to. And I'm saying to myself, how can I get my voice out there and do this and let it be effective? Where in my mind, I'm not that person. And then that's when God spoke to me and said, you know what? Was I that person when I stood in front of people to say, hey, the kingdom of God is at hand, was I qualified to go ahead and talk? Was I qualified? Just get out there and do it. Just do it. And everything else will fall into place. The reason why I need you to do this now, Gloria, because I need you to live with a sense of urgency, to know that you got to get out of your own head, your own bubble, and know and see that your life is not about you. You have to live the life of urgency because your life is not about you, Kim. It's not. It's about those people who are coming after you. It's about your kids in your house. It's about your kids' friends. It's about your best friend and those women and all those people, whoever that you talking to that you know you have a gift for and that you can help. The desire is in you for a reason. It is there for a reason. It keeps bothering you for a reason. I was talking to one of the doctors at the center, and I was sitting down and I was talking to her, and she said, Gloria, um, you celebrated a birthday. I said, yes. I said, I'm 42 now, and this is it. This is where you got to start to look at life. And she said, no, you got a little bit more time. You know when it happens? She said, it happens when you get 50. She said, girl, when you get 50, that's when you know it ain't nothing but that old uphill from there, because you're going up in age, right? So she said at 50, you sit there and you look at your life and you say, did I do everything that I wanted to do? Is there something else that I should be doing? And she said, you know what? A lot of my doctor friends, when they turn 50, they quit their jobs, they do all that, and they go and they start to live. So I'm listening, and I said to her, I said, well, doc, why do you think that happens? Why do you think that we as individuals wait until we get to a certain age to see? And she said, I think it's because it finally clicks to us how we must start to live and live our life on purpose. Everything means something when you get to a certain age. Every step that you make or take is something where you look at it and you say, is this for me? That's why they say a lot of older people get selfish, and they get this I don't care attitude, because at that point in life you saying to yourself, it's about me. But what I'm saying to you ladies, and what I am trying to pass on to you, is that however old you are, it does not matter. It is time for you to live your life now. Now. What are we waiting for? Right? If you work with kids, if you're great at your professional job, if you want to start that business, if you want to get out there and do, I don't care, whatever, you want to go sell horses, what are we waiting for? Why are we being so complacent with ourselves? You get what I'm saying? Why are we being half-ass with us? Why are we doing that? Why are we not where we want to be for ourselves? I want to lose weight, but it's so hard. Okay, if you believe it's hard, it will be hard. Once we are able to step outside of our comfort zone and see how other people live, it clicks to us. That's why I'm doing these different topics each and every month. And I want you ladies to participate, because I want you to see inside of another woman's life, because we could get so wrapped up in our own self where we can't see the lives of other people. It only clicks when we are exposed to different things, right? You guys know that. If all of you have kids, what was the biggest thing for you when you had your kids? You would say, I need to be able to expose my kids to a lot of stuff, right? My kids need exposure. My kids need to get out there and explore the world, look at different things to see what they like. I remember my grandmother when we were younger, the twins were younger, right? When they pick up a pen, she would say, leave them alone so that they can decide which hand they want to be able to write with, right? And when we used to have like plays and shows, she will always allow us to participate in glee club and plays and all this stuff because she wanted us to find out what we liked. Why do we stop that? Why do we stop that? Gloria, I stopped because, girl, life is just, I'm just trying to keep it all together. I'm just trying to make it day by day. I am in this house, getting myself ready, getting the kids ready, going to work, coming home, and just trying to make it happen. Well, what is happening with your life when you just going around in a circle every day? Yolanda, what is happening with your life when you're not living with a sense of urgency? You're not doing anything but putting years on your life doing the same thing that you would have done. Your thinking is not changing and you're not growing. Nothing new you discovered, and there's nothing outside of inside your environment that is making you aware and challenging you and challenging who you are. And we get caught up in that, and it's very easy to, only because the world is about us, right? But when you look outside the world, ladies, when you look outside the world and you see, ask yourself, are you living your life with a sense of urgency, or are you just living? Every day when you get home, or every day you turn off that computer if you work from home, are you smiling and you're saying, damn, I really do enjoy my life. I really do enjoy what I do. Thank you, God, for another day, for allowing me to help someone and to do what I love to do. Are you saying that, or are you making excuses or complaining or upset? Thank you for the wonderful relationship that I'm in. I'm finally with someone who I can communicate with, who challenges me, and who helps me understand that we're both growing together. Are you saying that about your relationships? And that could be personal with friends or anything. Because when we start to live a life of urgency, all that little shit don't matter, right? All that stuff stops to matter. And you just like, look, I'm going to do me and what I want to do, and I want to be happy. What is the definition of your happiness? Because if you're not living it and it's still up here and you just dreaming it, then honey, we got work to do, right? We got work to do. Why is it so hard to take the first step? Because we don't want to fail. Well, guess what? If you fail and you fail and you fail and you fail and you fail, all you got to do is take a different approach to what you're doing. I say this all the time. The thinking that got you here It's not the same thinking that's going to take you to the next level. You got to be able to think differently, right? You got to be able to think differently. And that comes with being open to different things, being aware to different things, and living a life with a sense of urgency, knowing that that woman is waiting on you, or those kids, or that dream job, or that company, because it is. You were not put here. Let me say this out loud and very low. You were not put here to pay bills and die. You were not put here to be mediocre, walk around life, not growing, and die. You were not put here to be alone in life. To say, oh, well, I'm just going to be by myself for the rest of my life. There's no good men out there. You were not here to be alone. I need all of you ladies to hear that. The reason why you are here is to live that purpose and that thing that is burning inside of you, whatever that is. How silly you think it is, how crazy you think it is, how bold you think it is, how fearful you think it is. And whatever it is that's inside of you, that is called your gift. And your responsibility is to take that gift to serve others. That's your responsibility. That job is not your responsibility. That man or woman in your life is not your responsibility. The key to happiness is doing what you love. Is living life with a sense of urgency, knowing that if you do not express yourself and express your gift and put yourself out there, that literally people are going to be left behind or even die because you wasn't ready, because you was afraid. Companies are going to go bankrupt. Kids are going to be left behind because you wasn't ready. We all have individual thumbprints. We all have our ways of doing things, right? But the gift God gave you, he gave it to you. Nobody, and that's the thing that I keep hearing and will repeat. Nobody could be the best you but you, right? And I had to get that. I'm not a Iyanla. I'm not a Tony Robbins. I'm not uh, uh, what's her name? Tabitha Brown. Those people are already taken. They're operating in their gifts. They're doing their part in service, right? They are doing what they do best in their own skin, being happy. I'm doing what I'm doing in my own skin, being happy. Why? Because we all got individual gifts. We all know that the plans that God has for us is for us, and it's for nobody else. Nobody can do what you're doing. And if you think, oh well, there's 1,001 accountants, Gloria, and I want to be an accountant and all that, they don't have your flavor though. They don't have your method, though. They don't have your way of thinking. And that's what I am trying to get across to you, ladies, is that the sense of urgency is so big right now because of all the shit that's going on, right? With everything that's going on the outside, two people, two women, two children, all of us are on here right now counting our blessings because the stuff that's happening out there, we are still trying to figure out how we're going to birth all of our dreams and aspirations. And God is just waiting on us, man. He's literally sitting back and saying, hey, you know what, Heather? Can't wait for you to get it right. Because you know what? Tony has is waiting on you to give her what it is that you have. It's a lot of pressure. Yes, it is. But what are we waiting on? If anybody can answer for me, why is it so hard to take the first step? I just want to hear it. And what are you waiting on to live the life you said you want to live? What are you waiting on? And I bet you when you write your answers, you probably type it away 4 or 5 different times. You probably delete it 4 or 5 different times because the more that you start to type, the more silly you would see your answer, because you would say the basic things. Oh, I'm waiting on more money. I'm waiting on my kids to get grown. I'm waiting to get this divorce. I'm waiting to get this apartment, this house. I'm waiting on this new job. I'm waiting, for this, for that, all of that. Failure is a lesson. Failure is a lesson that says that didn't work out. That ain't it. So you try something else. That's all it is. It's a lesson. When we start to think about it that way, then you just turn around and you try something else. Do you guys know how much money and time I've wasted on ideas and all of that stuff? But that's fine. Out of it, I've learned so much. And the biggest thing I've learned is what not to do. You get what I'm saying? But that doesn't mean you stop trying. That's just not the road. You change your approach. You get help. You ask people, right? Right now I'm stuck in my life, Gloria. I'm stuck in a marriage I don't want to be in, or a relationship, and I'm just trying to work on me. We get that a lot, right? I'm just trying to work on me, work on my self-confidence, and really put myself out there so I can, be the best me, because it's time in my life. And I would ask you, how are you doing that? How? Well, I'm reading more, and I'm doing my affirmations and I'm watching this. Yes. But are you really committed? Is it a sense of urgency for you? Or is it a nice to do, nice to have, nice to think about? Right? Because when it's a sense of urgency for you, you move like this. You move real fast. I know when I want something and I want it now, I put my clothes on and I go get it if I can. If I have to wait on somebody else to come give it to me, right? If my patience get thin, I figure out what's taking so long. because I need it now. And you guys know that. You've experienced that. But when it comes to ourselves, we can sit back and wait six, 6 months, 1 year, 4 years, 10 years, 20 years, and say, you know what? I've been waiting and trying for 10 years and I still didn't get anywhere. So I just stopped trying. We're not doing that this year, ladies. Each and every one of you on here, all of you who are here, hear what I got to say. It is your time to live your life the way you want to, the way that little annoying thing is inside of you telling you to live. There is no more excuses as to why you can't. You on hold. There's no more excuses for that. The sense of urgency is right now. Hear what I'm saying? You don't have the luxury anymore to be mediocre with yourself. You know too much now. You know how powerful you are. You know what you can do. There's no way you can turn back now. That's why you show up. That's why you come. That's why you read. That's why you participate, because you know better. You're trying to figure out, how do I continuously do better? And the answer to that is make it a sense of urgency for yourself and in your life that you are the most important person. You will not live a life in 2021 like you did last year, 3 years, 10 years ago. That stuff is dead and stinking. If you are here, you have all the activity of your limbs, you can work, you can get out there and smile, then you still have a purpose. The world is still looking for you to come and serve. Don't waste it because you think you got time. You don't. Don't waste it because you are afraid. Don't waste it because you think you are alone. Nobody's going to help you. Your time and opportunity is right now. The only way you're going to figure that out is if you get out there and you try. Just take one step. That's it. One little step, and you see how that works out for you. It is all up here, which we know, as to why you're not where you need to be. Self-confidence, self-love is the two biggest things that you need to get you along that journey. How do you get it? We got a whole platform for you. We got a whole bunch of people. The reason why we have women that come and tell their stories is because we want you to see that you're not alone. There is someone who has been through worse and have came out of it. Do you know Rebecca Bender, the survivor of the human trafficking? When you look at her interview, she is now married. She has 4 kids. And she told us, because I asked, after all that trauma, how can you get married and not have some kind of strain in your relationship? Because that's a lot of trauma to bring to someone who might not have been exposed. And the answer, she said, is hard. It is, because I'm still working on myself. and I'm in therapy. But the one thing that I know, Gloria, that she said is that I gotta love me and I have to choose me, because that's how I am able to show up for my family, is when I choose me. And that's all he have to say. Because at the end of the day, ladies, that is the key to everything you want in your life. Everything. One of the things that she said too is no predator can touch you if you know who you are. Because then they know that they can't get into your mind. But it's the ones that don't know, it is the ones that are fearful who they prey on. We can't have that, ladies. Not when you got your special skills, you working on yourself, and you can get out there and serve with whatever gifts you have, right? Let what's inside you surface. And this is my last point. Let what's inside you surface and come out. Allow yourself to live your life from this day forward with a sense of urgency, knowing, not thinking, knowing that when you do, and you are loving yourself and not cheating yourself and being mediocre, that you are not only helping yourself, but you are helping another person, because they're not only watching you like your kids, but they trying to figure out what is it that you're doing that they're not doing. You have everything you need to do whatever it is that you want. You know that already. You are so powerful. You are so powerful that every day that you think a thought, positive or negative, you are living that out and you are creating your own reality. And if you don't know what I mean, take a look at your life. Everything that's around you, you created, good or bad. But the beautiful thing is once you start to live a life of urgency, you can change all of that. If you're happy with it, you can make it better. If you're not happy with it, you can change it. Because that's how much power you have. That's how much strength you have. Now I want you to go out there and create something. Do something. Live your life with a sense of urgency. I'm telling you, what else we got to lose? Right? What else we got to lose? It is no better feeling than knowing that you're doing what you love each and every day. I'm telling you, I know. I know. It's stressful, it's tiring, it's all of that, but I love it. Right? And so will you when you try. I got to get out of here, but I love you, ladies. I will be on tomorrow. Please make sure you come out tonight and see Sandra. She's a private investigator. Sandra Cleveland. She's a private investigator to come give us some tips on how we could protect ourselves as women when we're out. But we're going to still continue to talk about human trafficking for the month. And I want you to take a look at the videos. You can go on YouTube or you can go on here and listen to the survivor stories and just hear the first thing they say. I was vulnerable. I was looking for love. I didn't love myself. Someone came along and gave me the love that I was missing. Where all along, where all along, I had to figure out that I had to love me in order to get me out of that situation. That's the answer. I'll see you guys. I love you. Gotta go. All right. Like and share this, send it to your people, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye.